Hello everybody, welcome to Totally Tabled. My name is Shaggy, and today I'm playing a complete solo game of Everdell. You might have seen my unboxing of that ridiculously large, complete collection. It has all the expansions that come with Everdell, which is an enormous amount. I'm leaving like 95% of that stuff in the box, and just playing with the base game, but I'll be playing against Nightweave. This is a new solo opponent that comes in the Mistwood expansion. I think in the base game you played against Rugwort. Nightweave is a little bit more complex, feels more like you're playing against an actual opponent. So I'm gonna show off how she works along with mostly just the base game. Now I already went ahead and got everything set up. You set everything up as if you were playing a two-player game. So I got my 3 forest cards there chosen at random. We have our 4 special events here. And as you can see, I've had to jettison the Evertree, I think it's called. It's still there off in the corner, so it's here in spirit, but we've just stuck the deck there and put our events over here. We got our extra workers over there off to the side, and we start with 5 cards in our hand. So like I said, we're playing against Nightweave and her army of spiderlings. On a side note, I am terrified of spiders, so Nightweave has got to go down as my least favorite meeple of all time. I decided to play as the butterflies because I feel like they're the natural enemy of the spider. You know, like butterflies can actually fly, and then the spiders are sort of like pseudo-flying with their little webs, and so I think there'd be some jealousy there. Anyway, you get Nightweave's 2 boards here. You get Nightweave herself, and she starts with 2 spiderlings. Your other spiderlings you're going to put over here. They're going to come out as the seasons progress. She starts with 1 card in her hand at random. You just pull it off the top of the deck. Her hand is just going to be a randomized stack of cards. And you set up her action deck, following the rules that are laid out in the book. You have her winter cards here shuffled up. 1 is removed at random. And then you place the cards of the other seasons just off to the side. They're going to get added in as we go through the seasons. We also get to pick what level we want Nightweave to be playing at, and I've gone with Tricky, basically level 1. She's just right above the beginning level. I'm new to Everdell, so I don't know what I'm doing, but really that level just affects mostly in-game scoring, how she's going to score different things. And then Nightweave works with a lot of the different expansions. There seems to be rules that apply to almost every expansion. I think there's very few that she's not compatible with. Again, I'm not playing with any of that here. But she also comes with some modules that you can add just for her. And to keep things simple, I just picked 1. She's going to get this special ability here that I just chose at random, web working. She's basically going to get the same base points for any purple card that I play. And these are the cards that give you a lot of in-game scoring. So it's really making those purple cards less effective, which is a problem for me because in my previous plays, I've leaned hard on those purple cards. So we're going to have to try to figure something else out. Oh, and we also got the D8 for her as well. Don't want to forget that. And I think that's it. That is everything. We are ready to begin the game. Everdell is a fairly straightforward worker placement tableau building game. On our turn, we can either send out one of our workers to these various worker placement locations, or we can play a card from our hand to our tableau. We're going to be building out our city using these cards, and we have a maximum of 15 spaces that we can put things in. We also have a maximum hand size of 8, and when we play cards, we can either play them from our hand, or we can play them directly from the Meadow here. Cards have a resource cost in the upper left-hand corner. They're going to give us some points at the end of the game, and they usually have a special ability. Depending on the type of card, some of the special abilities are one-time uses, some give you ongoing special abilities, and some give you various ways of scoring points at the end of the game. We'll go over all the worker placement spots and how all the cards work as we play, as I normally do. But when you're playing against Nightweave, she gets to go first. And on her turn, you simply flip the top card of her action deck. And you look in the quadrant that corresponds to which season you're in. At the moment, we start in winter. Nightweave wants to do the action to the left of the slash. If she's unable, she'll do the action to the right of the slash. And if she can't do that, she'll do the action at the bottom of the card. In this case, she wants to place one of her spiderlings in that particular worker placement spot. This is the spot where you go to get stone. And there you go. That's all she does. She just wanted to block that from me. Now we can't go there. Now it's our turn, and we don't start with any resources or anything. So we're going to definitely want to send our workers out to collect some stuff. And we want to look at what cards we want to play. And a big part of this game is card combos. There's essentially two different types of cards. There are constructions, which are like buildings, and then there's critters. And the cool thing is that if you build a construction, a lot of times it will let you play a particular critter for free. And that's exactly what's happened here with this inn. I have this inn in my hand, and if you look at the very bottom there, it shows an innkeeper. That means that if the inn is in my city, I can then get the innkeeper for free, rather than paying the cost, which in this case would be 1 berry. We have a similar thing going on with these ruins. You can see at the bottom of the ruins, it shows a peddler, and we actually have a peddler in our hand. There's even one in the meadow. Now, I really like this inn. I like this ability here. We can place a worker. You can see it has a worker placement spot on it. And if we place a worker there, it'll let us play a critter or a construction from the meadow for 3 less resources. That seems like a really great power, so we're going to try to play the inn. Now, it's going to cost 2 wood and a resin. Unfortunately, there's not a single location here that will let me get that exact distribution, but we can get kind of close. So I'm actually going to take my worker, and my little butterfly is going to flutter on over to that worker placement spot. That is one of the forest spots that we put out at random at the beginning of the game. And we can only go to that left spot. The right spot is only available in a 4-player or more game. So the rightmost spot is closed, but we can go there and we can get 2 resin and a wood. And that was my turn. Turns are extremely fast. Okay, Nightweave's turn, and we're just going to do this. We're just going to keep going back and forth for the entire game. Okay, going to place another spiderling, and in this case, in one of those forest spots that's indicated, you can see there, it shows the right forest spot. Boom. Just takes that spot, and that's it. Our turn, we don't have the exact stuff that we need for the inn here. And honestly, I was going to go to that spot. That would have gotten us exactly what we needed to play the inn and a few other things. So, well done, Nightweave. Fortunately, there's a couple other spots that we can go to get stuff, and I think we're going to send our butterfly over there. At that location, we can get 3 wood. Okay, we're already out of workers. That was fast. So that symbol there just means that Nightweave wants to play a card from her hand into her city. She only has this 1 card that she started with at random. It's a harvester, so it just goes in her city. Now, she doesn't care about the special abilities on the cards. She doesn't care about restrictions on the cards. She's just building out her city in her own way, and she's going to score points at the end of the game for those cards. Okay, there we go. Now we have the stuff to build the inn, so I say let's just do it. So we're going to build the inn. It's going to cost 2 wood and a resin. You can see there it's going to give us 2 points at the end of the game. And that is it. So that's a similar symbol to the one we saw before, but those little leaves off to the side mean that they're going to play a card directly from the meadow. Now, again, they don't care about what things cost or any sort of restrictions, and she's just going to take it at random. So we just roll this D8 to determine which card she's going to take. And this is the point where she takes my innkeeper from me, isn't it? And that's the 3. Yes! So they're going to take my innkeeper, the innkeeper that I was going to get with the inn for free, but now it's gone. It goes into her city, and it's immediately replaced with another innkeeper. Yes. Oh, Legit. Okay. Hilarious. Well, great. I get to show off exactly how this works. So like I said, you can play cards either from your hand or from the Meadow. We're going to play that Innkeeper. Normally it would cost 1 berry, which we don't have. But because of our inn, we can get it for free. So what you do is you just take one of these little tokens and you cover up that bottom space there to show that you've used that to get the free Innkeeper. You can't use it over and over and over again. And the Innkeeper has a ongoing special ability. It says, when placing a critter, you may discard the Innkeeper from your city to decrease the cost by 3 berries. So the Innkeeper might not be around for very long. We may be using him or her to get, for instance, this queen. The queen costs 5 berries, but with the Innkeeper, only 2. That might be a good use for the Innkeeper. Anyway, we refill immediately. Ooh, and we got a mine. Okay. Let's see what Nightweave's up to. So this is the card that sends Nightweave out into the Meadow. So what we do is we roll the die again. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nightweave's going to take this card and also stay there in the Meadow. Okay, I thought for sure there she was going to take the queen. Okay, now I have a couple choices here. I have a lot of choices. I don't have workers at the moment, so I can't actually go to the inn to take advantage of the special ability. I could use the Innkeeper to get the Chip Sweep for free, or the Bard, or the Peddler, or the Gatherer, or really even that Barge Toad. Don't really want to do that. I really am interested in getting this queen. The other problem I have is with these resources that I have, I can't really play anything at the moment. So one thing I could do is I could pass. By passing, I would actually move from the winter into the spring. I would get my workers back, add some new workers, and do a few other things. The thing is, I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm not ready to end the season quite yet. So we're going to go with plan C, which is we're going to actually destroy our inn using this Ruins card. Now, the Ruins is free to play, has no costs. It's not worth any points either. But it says when you play it, discard a construction from your city, gain resources equal to that construction, and draw 2 cards. So we're going to send this into Ruins. We gain resources equal to its cost. So we're going to get our resources back. That's 2 wood and a resin. And then we also get to draw 2 cards just off the top of the deck. That's going to go into the discard pile. These go into our hand. What did we get? Castle and a doctor. Okay. Now, why did I do that? Well, now I have a spot here where I can play this Peddler for free. And I think that's going to help us. But that was my turn. Okay, Nightweave's turn. And there we go. Now, that card, it has the little spiderling symbol on top, which means you have to place out a worker in order to take the action. And at the moment, Nightweave is out of spiderlings. So when this happens, she's going to pass. She's going to go from winter into spring. So a few things happen. First of all, she comes back to her lair, along with her spiderlings. And we check to see if she's met the full requirements of any of those 4 basic events. And basically for each of those, you need 3 of a certain type of card or 4 of the green type. Right now, she doesn't have that, so she's not going to take one of those basic events. We're then going to reset her activity deck, and we're going to add the cards, the 3 cards from the next season. So she has 3 spring cards. Those get added in, and then the whole deck gets shuffled. She then adds some new workers. So in the case of going into spring, she just adds 1 spiderling. And then here it shows you what else happens. In this case, she gets to draw 2 cards into her hand. Her hand is just a randomized stack of cards. And then she's also going to remove a random card from the Meadow. Rolled a 4. So the cemetery gets discarded. And now we refill the Meadow. To show that she's in spring, you can sort of move one of these tokens. That can just help you remember that she's in spring. You can also just look here and tell. And just like in the regular game, she's now going to be in spring, taking spring actions, and we're still in winter, and that's fine. You don't have to be in the same season with the other players. Okay, after all that, it's our turn. And I think we're going to use the ruins in order to play the peddler for free. I'm going to take it from the Meadow, though. So we can cover it up. And this is a green card, so we get to take the action right away. And it says, you may pay up to 2 of any resource to gain an equal amount of that resource. And so I want to spend 2 wood in order to get 2 berries. The Meadow is instantly refilled. Ooh, look at that. We got the Harvester and we got the Gatherer. Those 2 like to be together. But they also really want to have a farm, which hasn't come out yet. And I also noticed this King came out. Yeah, I'm less interested in the King because of that web working special ability. If I were to play the King out, Nightweave would get those 4 basic points along with us. That would just be a wash, and we'd only be scoring the stuff at the bottom. So that card is much less exciting than it would normally be. Okay, regardless, that was our turn. Okay, Nightweave, do not take the Queen. That's all I'm asking. Please don't take the Queen. Now, because she is in the spring, we have to look over to the spring quadrant. Now, the action happens to be the same. She's going to come out into the Meadow. So no whammies here. We do not want to see a 6. Oh, took the whole Gatherer. We had the Harvester Gatherer thing going. Now, she actually has a Gatherer and a Harvester. Again, she doesn't care about the special abilities of these cards. You know, some cards are unique, which means you can only have 1 of them in your city. She doesn't care about that either. Okay, we got lucky there, because now we can use the Innkeeper, which is going to reduce the cost of playing one of these cards by 3 berries. So we are going to play the Queen. That'll just cost us 2 berries. And the Innkeeper goes away. I'm not sure what the story is that just happened there. I think the Innkeeper might have destroyed the inn, like, for the insurance money or something. And then tricked the Queen into coming, like, oh, we got this nice new inn, you know, come on, let's check it out. And the Queen shows up and it's just a heap of ruins or something. Certainly something interesting just happened there. Now, the Queen is pretty awesome. Not only is she worth 4 points at the end of the game, but she has a worker placement spot that will let us play a card worth up to 3 points for free. That's going to be enormously helpful, I think. Sure hope so. Oh, look at that, another inn. Oh, and we have the stuff. Do we rebuild the inn? Oh, interesting. Okay, Spiderling going out. Okay, now we have this situation. The Spiderling wants to go to the 3 wood spot, but we're there. So what they're going to do is try to go to a similar spot. They're going to move along this line of resource locations and try to find another open spot. And they're going to move according to that little symbol there at the bottom right. It shows they're going to move clockwise, or move to the right in this case. And the trick is they're not going to stop at these open locations. There's two types of worker placement spots. There are these closed circles, which means that only one person can go there, only one worker. Or there's these open circles, which mean any number of workers can go there. They are never going to go to the open circles. They only want to block the closed circle spots. So they're not going to stop there, and instead they're going to go there. Only if there hadn't been any spots open. If all of them had been shut down, then they would have moved on to the second action there. Okay, so with our current resources, all we could do is rebuild this inn. I mean, thematically, that just feels so nice. I think I have to do it. Right? Maybe the innkeeper didn't mean to burn down the inn. It happened by accident. And now the queen's going to come along and help us rebuild the inn. That's what's happening. She's not going to help us that much. We're actually going to spend all of the resources and rebuild the inn. Yes. And here I might actually put our worker placement spots together. So now we have 2 spots that we can go to. We're going to be able to place stuff for super cheap. Spiderling. Going right there. And there we go. Now we are pretty much done. No workers. We only have this one resin. Can't do anything with that. No sort of actions we can do here, so we're going to have to pass. We're finally going to leave the winter. So we get our workers back, including an extra one. And when we enter the spring, we get to activate all of our green cards. Now, unfortunately, the only green card that we have is this peddler, which would let us change this into something else if we wanted to. And I think I actually will. I'm going to change this resin into a stone. These stones are a lot harder to get. You only have this one spot right there. There's also this spot here in the forest that lets you take a good of your choice. But yeah, those stones can be hard. And having one might let me build this mine. So that's my thinking there. Okay. Last spiderling. Man, just taking up all these forest locations. Well, that's annoying. But I think this one will do fine. So we're going to pop in right there and get a wood, a resin, and a berry. Okay, just playing a card. You're supposed to keep this shuffled, right? So I'm just going to shuffle it. Because they are playing a random card from their hand. Now I have the stuff to build the mine. I kind of want to build that mine. But instead, I think I'll use my worker and bring them to the inn. That's going to reduce the cost by 3, so I can basically just build this for free. I'll immediately get that 1 stone. So that's good. I have 2 stone now. Ooh, the shepherd. Strange. So you pay 3 berries, but you pay it to your opponent. And then it says gain 3 berries, then gain 1 coin or, victory point for each coin on your chapel. Well, we haven't seen the chapel yet, so that's not really too helpful. Okay, there we go. When Nightweave is in the meadow and she has no more spiderlings left, and she draws one of these cards, either this card that would send her out or one of the spiderling cards, she must prepare for the next season. She must pass. They all come back to the lair. And we check to see if she has exactly what she needs to get one of those basics. And she does not. She's close with the blue. She has 2 blue, but she needs 3. We bring in her summer cards. Shuffle her activity deck. She now goes to the summer. She's getting 2 spiders. And it shows here she's getting 2 cards from the Meadow. She's going to add to our hand. Number 3. 1, 2, 3. And number 8. Well, taking a look at some of these combos. I got the castle in my hand. That would let us... Well, there's a castle here now also. That would let us play the king for free. Now, these are those purple cards that kind of don't work quite as well. We're going to be giving these basic points to Nightweave, but the castle will score 1 point for each common construction. The ruins is a common construction. The inn is also a common construction, as is the mine. So that's 3 points already for that. And then we get the king for free, and that's another bunch of points. The other thing I'm looking at is we have 2 red cards, and if we can get a third, then we can take that basic event there and get 3 points at the end of the game for that. And if we combo with the king, who would give us an extra point for each basic event achieved, that could be good. Now, speaking of these special events here, the way you get these is by getting the combo of cards that are shown at the top. At the moment, we're not doing very well in that department. All we have is these ruins. And so if we got a historian, then we could get this one. There's a harvester out here, but that's not doing very good. We really want to farm with that one. And none of these other ones. We do have a doctor. But, so we're not really close over here. Now, there is the cemetery. That is a red card. And we do have the combo with the Undertaker. So maybe that's a good idea. Let's see what the cemetery does. So in the cemetery, you place a worker there, and then you can reveal 4 cards from the deck or discard pile. And play one for free, discard the others. That is really good. And then we could get the Undertaker. The Undertaker would let us discard 3 cards from the Meadow, replenish, and then draw one of them. And it would also unlock a second worker placement spot on the cemetery. Okay, so we're just going to build the cemetery. Put my worker placement locations together here. That's going to cost 2 stone. Okay, Nightweave's chilling in the summer. Wow, going out immediately again. Five. Okay, no big deal. Now, I have 3 of these red cards. I could go up there, but Nightweave's not really pushing that, so I'm in no rush. I could go to the cemetery. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the workers you place here are stuck there for the rest of the game. So it's a little early probably to be doing that. We don't want to lock in one of our workers there. I think I will go ahead and take the Undertaker for free. Now, the Undertaker says to discard 3 cards from the Meadow, replenish, then draw 1 from the Meadow. I'm going to get rid of this. I have a castle. I'll leave the king. And I don't really care about that guy either. So we're going to discard that, refill. And it says draw 1 from the Meadow. Ooh, it's between the innkeeper and the fairgrounds. Now that I have this inn, I could get the innkeeper for free. Although I'm kind of into that fairgrounds, to be honest. Ooh, let's get the innkeeper. I want to make sure I can play the innkeeper. Okay. Monastery. You put a worker here, they stay there permanently, just like with the cemetery, but you get to give 2 goods to your opponent, and you gain 4 points. Okay, I don't mind that so much. Aha, okay, so a spiderling is going out, and you see there in the summer, it says open. That means that they're gonna go to one of the open locations in my tableau, in my city. Now, it might be hard to see, but the only card that has an open on it is my inn. It has that little open sign right there, which means that other players can play onto your spot. So when that's filled up, they would go to an open location in their own city, but they don't have one. So instead, they're going to move on to the second action there. It says market or haven. So we have the haven right here. They're going to put their spider in the haven, and then they're just going to gain 3 points. Now the question I have is, do I just want to get more materials, or do I want to play those fairgrounds? I think I'm going to move the Undertaker up here. I think I will get those fairgrounds. I'm going to use the Queen. That's going to let me play a card worth up to 3 for free, and I'm going to take the fairgrounds. So that's going to immediately let me draw 2 cards. Now I have 6 in my hand, and 8 is the limit. Ooh, okay, we got a farm and a university. The farm you play out, you get a berry, and then it can let you play either a harvester or a gatherer, so there is that harvester out there. University has a worker placement spot. It says discard a critter or a construction from your city, gain resources equal to that card's cost, then gain 1 resource of your choice and a point. Also lets us play the doctor, which we have. And the doctor is part of this special event. Okay, we could even use the Queen to play the university, so we got some options there. That's nice. Another monastery. Okay, summer. Oh, okay, so wants to go here. We're already there. So it's going to move around the forest locations counterclockwise. Zoop, going over there. And at this point, I'm just going to play the innkeeper for free with the inn. Going to the stone spot. And I'm out of workers. I could use the innkeeper to play the peddler or the bard. The bard would let me discard up to 5 cards from my hand and gain a point for each of them. And I might want to keep the university and the doctor, but I could discard these 4. Okay, I tell you what, I am going to do that. I am going to use the innkeeper to play this bard. That reduces the berry cost by 3. And immediately I can discard up to 5 cards and gain a point for each of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to discard these 4 and get 4 points. So 3 and a 1. Okay. Going to play a card from their hand. And now I'm going to pass. I'm going to move from spring to summer. Get an extra worker. And when you're moving into the summer, you get to draw 2 cards from the meadow. I think I'll take the ranger. And I guess this barge toad. Okay, so it looks like she's going to go on to a basic event. Now, when she takes an action like this, she's first going to check to see if she's fulfilling any of those basic events completely. She is not. She's then going to look for ones that she's 1 away from. And there's 2 of them, I think. She's 1 away from the blue, and she's 1 away from the green. She's tied, so she's going to start from the left side and then work her way to the right. And so that means she's going to take that blue one. And she doesn't take it yet. She actually has to put one of her spiderlings on top of it. She'll grab that at the end of the season. I think right off the bat, I want to use the fairgrounds to get the fool. Can get it for free, And the Fool actually goes into your opponent's city and is worth -2 points. And this is something that Spiderweave does care about. She will get those negative points. Ooh, another farm. Okay. Playing a card from the Meadow. 5. Okay, that's where she is. So she's going to look here. She's actually going counterclockwise. So she's going to take this one. Now, we do have 3 of these brown ones, so we could get that basic event, and we have the 3 red. I think I'm going to use the Queen. That'll let me play the University for free. Oh, there we go. Open. And I do have a spot. So they're going to be able to go onto my inn. But I get a little reward when that happens. You can see there's a little number right there. It shows I get a point. Okay, so now I think I'm going to use the University. That's going to let me discard either a critter or a construction. I'm going to discard the Peddler. I get the cost. 2 berries. Then I can also gain a good of my choice and a point. Get a stone. Got a worker, completely out of workers, so she's going to pass. That Spiderling comes back with that basic event. And now, since she has those 4 greens, she's actually going to be able to also take this basic event. So that didn't work out too well. She's going to get her last group of cards, her autumn cards, and then shuffle. Got lots of spiders now. Draws 2 more cards. And 2 random ones get discarded from the Meadow. 3. And 3. And we would just move on to that one. Okay, at this point, I might actually want to use my inn. Okay, I tell you what. I'm actually going to play my doctor for free. And the doctor says you may pay up to 3 berries and gain a point for each. So let's do that. 3 points. Okay, playing from the Meadow. 5. Ooh, takes the ruins. I'm going to use the N. That's going to make this ranger free. Here, I'll put him up here. So I'm running out of room. The ranger lets me move one of my deployed workers to a different location. So I'm going to move this one off the queen up to that basic event. Because I have 3, I even have 4 of that symbol. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So Nightweave is going to send one of her spiderlings over here to the journey location. Now, this is an interesting location. It only unlocks when you're in the autumn. So we're still in summer, so we can't go here. But Nightweave's in autumn. She's going to go to this journey location here. That's going to score you points at the end of the game, and it locks your worker there. Now, if we were to go there, we would have to discard cards equal to the point value. You're basically sort of scoring your cards that you're not going to be using. But Nightweave doesn't have to do that. She just gets to go there for free. Okay, our turn. We have 11 cards in our tableau. Again, you only have space for 15, although there's some cards that let you play multiple cards in one spot. I'm thinking about just getting that other basic event and moving on. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, coming on the board. Oh, at the courthouse. Okay. And I believe we're going to pass and move into autumn ourselves. Get our last workers. And we get these. And when you enter autumn, you also get to reactivate all of your green cards one last time. The fairgrounds are going to let us draw 2 cards. Crane and a bard. The mine's going to get us a stone. And unfortunately, we forgot about the doctor. We didn't plan for that, so we can't use the doctor. We don't have any berries. Okay, we probably should have done that slightly differently, but that's okay. Okay, gonna play a card. Now what I want to do, I think I want to use the inn before she comes in there and takes it from me. That'll let us play this monastery for free. Oh, and there's the historian that I need in order to get that. Okay, there we go. Uh-oh. No 6, no 6, no 6. 8, yes. Oh, nope, that doesn't take a worker. Just gonna play the farm. Now she's running out of space in her city, so that's good. Okay, I definitely want the historian. Now I have no berries, so we need to get some berries. Now there's a few ways we could do that, but I have a kind of sneaky way. That involves using the university. That's going to let us discard a creature or a construction from our city. I'm going to get rid of this bard. That'll give us 3 berries. And then I can also take a good of my choice and a point. What good do I want? Normally I'd say stone, but I don't think there's much I want with stone right now. Honestly, I'll take a wood. There we go. Now I have the berries to get the historian. Oh man, journeying. I don't have cards that are worth anything. That's 9 points from journeying. Oh boy. Okay, this is not going well. Well, let's take the historian. That's 2 berries. So now the historian's going to let me draw a card after I play a critter or a construction. That would have been nice to have early in the game for sure. But more importantly, we now have Historian Ruins, so we can take that special event. Ooh, and the monk. I can get the monk for free with my monastery. That's nice. Okay, just playing a card. Do I want that monk? It's an interesting way of getting points. Problem is, I only have room for 3 more cards. I'm not sure if I want that monk. Well, here, we're going to go ahead. We have Ruins, Historian. We're going to do this. So it says, when achieved, reveal 5 cards. You may draw any or place any beneath the event, and every one we place beneath will be worth a point at the end of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see if we want any of these. Farm, Gatherer, Shepherd, Twig Barge or Architect. We're trying to stay away from purple, but let's see here. 1 for each of your unused resin and stone to a maximum of 6. That's interesting. We do have stone that we may not really want to use. We could get more resin. I'm not sure I'm interested in any of these cards, to be honest. I might just put them all underneath to get 5 points. And we'll just set it right here. Oh, this again. Okay. Wants to go to an open location of mine. Is the monastery? Nope, that's not open. Nothing's open over here. Nothing open over there. So, journeying to the 3 spot. Wow. Man, that's crushing me. I completely didn't think about the journeys. I kind of want to do some cemeterying, I think. Yeah, we're going to cemetery. That's going to let me reveal 4 cards from either the deck or the discard pile. And then I can play 1 for free. I think I will go to the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chapel, Woodcarver, Storehouse, Peddler. This isn't what I wanted, but Woodcarver. Okay, I'm going to play the Woodcarver. And I'll spend 2 wood to get 2 points. Okay, she's already out, but she has more workers left, so that's not going to end her game. Instead, she's going to do that second thing. Going to get a card from the Meadow. 5. And she's going to discard a card and get a point. This king is actually worth 4 points to me. But I would struggle to get it. I don't like any of these cards in my hand. I could go to this journey spot. That's 2 points. And discard both of those. I have 2 more spaces for cards. I think I'm going to cemetery again. Ooh, okay, a school. I get 1 point for each common critter. Unfortunately, I think I mostly have unique critters. Yeah, I have like a ton of unique critters, not that many common ones, so that's actually not very useful. Wanderer, draw 3 cards. That's not bad. Not too into the storehouse or the dungeon for that matter, so it looks like it's going to be Wanderer time. Put him up here. And that just lets me draw 3 cards. Okay, teacher. Resin factory, storehouse. Ugh, again, not what I'm looking for. Okay, down here. Gonna place 1 right there. Now, I just noticed something. I forgot about my historian. Anytime I play a critter or a construction, I get to draw a card. I think I've done that twice, so I think I should have 2 more cards. Okay, clock tower or farm. Honestly, I think we're getting close to the end here. There's not that much I can do. I only have 1 more spot for a card. And I honestly think my best option is to come here to the queen and play this bard. It's funny because that's a unique creature, but I got rid of my other bard that I had played earlier, so I can play this one now. That's going to let me discard up to 5 cards and get a point for each. And so let's definitely do that. 1, 2... I don't know, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll take a 6 and put 1 back. And yep, the Historian lets us draw a card. But I think that's pretty much going to tap out what we're able to do. Okay, special event. So now they're going to get to take one of these. Okay, it looks like they have met one of the conditions for this one and one of the conditions for this one. So those are tied. They don't have to meet both of them. We then look down here. It's showing counterclockwise, which means you're going to start to the right side and move to the left, and this would be on the right. So they're going to take this one. And actually, one of their spiders goes onto it. Like that. Now, I don't have any more room in my city. My city is completely filled, so I can't add any more cards. All my workers are being used, so I think I'm done. I'm going to pass for good. That's the end of my game. But Nightweave is going to continue to go until she runs out of workers. Okay, another special event, but she can only take one special event per season, so she's not going to get to do that. So we're going to go to the second thing. That action is she's going to go to one of the locations in her city and then just get 2 points. Going there. Going there. All right, and that's another worker placement one. She's out of workers, so she's done. She's passing, and that is the end of the game. All we have left to do is score it up. Okay, scoring is very simple. The first thing we're going to look at is the journey points. A big disparity here. Nightweave has 12, and I have 0. Not a great start. We're then going to look at basic events. Nightweave got 2, I got 2, so that's 6 points each. We then can add up our point tokens here. Nightweave has 6, I have 17. We then look at our special events. I have 1 here, and I've tucked 5 cards underneath, so that's worth 5. And Nightweave has 1 special event, but instead of scoring it based on what it says, you instead look at your difficulty level. We're playing on Tricky, which means that special events are worth 4 points to Nightweave. So I got 5 points, and Nightweave got 4, which means we are tied up at the moment. We are completely tied. So it's going to come down to the last scoring thing, which is just the base value of all of our cards. Now, I went out of my way to avoid those purple cards that give you extra in-game points. So I don't have any of those to worry about. Nightweave has 1 of those purple cards, but because we're playing on Tricky, she doesn't get any additional points for those. However, any of her 0-cost cards are actually worth 1 point to her. So when we add up all of her cards, including that -2 points for the Fool that I threw in there, that brings her to 19 points. And when you add up all of my cards, I have 25. So there you go. In score, I have 53 points, Nightweave 47. And so we are victorious. We have defeated Nightweave by 6 points. There we go. And again, we were playing on level 1. We can go up to level 4, which is terrifying, in which case she would be getting 2 points for every 0-point card. She'd be getting 3 additional points for every purple card. Special events would have been worth 6 points. And what's funny about that is that would give her exactly 6 additional points in this case. So even on Terrifying, we would have tied, but that means Nightweave would have won. Nightweave wins ties. So there you go, everyone. That was a complete solo playthrough of Everdell using the Mistwood expansion. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.